Me flying from place to place. Today we're starting in Tormso in Norway, flying to Nayam in northern Russia, Siberia. In this FSLabs A320. At the minute we're stood on stand 22. Getting all the food and drinks on board before we depart. Here, the weather, much as like when we arrived, though brighter, it is very rainy. So that is a great factor that we will have to take into consideration on departure. So let's jump into the flight deck. So you go, we'll get the FMSs ready, and we'll start on the overhead. I was going to try and use track IR today, but it turns out it hasn't wanted to work. Get the ID, IRS working, arm all the flight controls. Arm the emergency lights. Ventilation. Make sure everything's on automatic. We've got the we have all the ground air conditioning on. We'll start the tests. So we'll go for the engine 1 fire test. And it will show up on the cam as well. Also I can't test that. But and the APU fire test. Positive. And the engine 2 fire test. Okay, I'm happy with that. We are connected to VATSIM, so we'll squat 2000 on the ground spoilers, make sure the parking brake is on, and make sure these are off, the weather radar's off. For this flight we're going to want to run about 24,000 pounds of fuel. Get that on board. Which in the Unicom frequency 122.8. Setting this up. So today flying on to the next page. Add in the weights. And now block 25 £24,000. So this is a bit that's going to take a while. I'll see you in a bit. So there we go. That's our MCDU finished. I'm going to start by putting some lights on in here. Make sure I put them on. Turn that down a little bit. Put on some lights. Now, if anyone here is a big Airbus fan like me, then perhaps we're all looking forward to the new black box update coming. I've been following them on Facebook for a while now, and it looks very promising to say the least. So hopefully now, as we're setting all this up and we've all taken now to the accustomed Airbus way of doing things, perhaps can all begin to look forward to the improvements that Blackbox have seemed to have committed to their products, which I think is absolutely fantastic to see that level of change and commitment especially from a company like Blackbox, two little guys in Malta. So we'll make sure we set our altimeters 0973, have a quick look at the weather, a quick look at the weather in our current location. Temperature 8 degrees Celsius, dew point 0.06, surface winds 180 degrees at 3 knots, with pressure on the altimeter 0973 hectopascals, with light rain but 10 miles visibility, airfield elevation 30 feet. So that's all looking fairly good there. And if we look on the METAR as of current, it was updated 3 minutes ago. Winds 180 degrees, 3 knots. One variable between 130 degrees to 00 knots. More than 10,000 kilometers visibility. Light rain, few clouds, 1,300. Broken, 2,700. Temperature 08, dew point 0.06. QNH 973 hectopascals. So we're looking here for icing conditions. Now we may have some gradual wind shear with some stratus type clouds, but for the most part I think we should be okay. So we will take off with the ices armed and ready, give it a go, and then hopefully the departure here should should be fairly standard. See now our ADIRS has aligned. I'm now going to go and take a look at our departure procedure, and we'll get the boarding going from GSX. Okay, so as we're now sat here now watching the loading of the cargo onto this Airbus A320, we're going to revise our departure procedures. Our departure procedure is straight ahead on course 186 degrees until we reach Tango Charlie 704 before making a left turn to Tango Charlie 706 to Idlin, India Delta Lima India November. With a minimum climb of 377 feet per minute is required until 4,000 feet. We should have no problem doing that. Maximum speed for the turn at Tango Charlie 704 is 210 knots, indicated airspeed, and an initial climb up to flight level 090, so 9,000 feet. 9,000 feet on the altimeter, of course. So that's a fairly standard procedure, and we'll jump back in the flight deck. So an initial climb, 9,000 feet. We want that on track, 186 degrees. And I'll just double check that, 186 degrees. There we go. Until Tango Charlie 704, which on our MCU shows it right above us. It's not. It's far out that way. So we'll keep on going until we reach 4,000 feet minimum. Once we hit 4,000 feet minimum, we'll make a left turn for Tango Charlie 706. Okay, easy. See here, the Airbus has already got it pretty much bang on, apart from the 2-degree check. It has a speed restriction and it has the height, but as we said before, on here it does indicate the low points in the position. So I will be hand flying that out. I will see you when the passengers are boarded, or have nearly completed boarding. Okay, so welcome back to the flight deck. As you can see now, the GSX is now shouting at us to close the doors. So we'll begin closing the passenger doors, and we'll wait for the go-ahead to close the cargo doors. But now, because that's happening, the seatbelt signs can come on, as it is now safe to do so. We'll put the packs onto automatic. Ground controls stay on, and we'll make sure there's no other various lights. There isn't. The beacon should have been on a while ago, but never mind. And we'll go APU master, APU start, and we'll hold it until the on light comes on, and we'll turn on the bleed, so that when the APU fires up, we automatically have the bleed. Something I forgot to check, as we can hear the APU firing up in the background, is we'll tune on VHF3 guard frequency 121.5. Now this is the frequency that will go on if we're in controlled airspace and we have any problems. However, we do have Norwegian sensors online. We're just outside of them right now, so once we're in the air and passing through around about 25,000 feet, we will contact them. Okay, so that's just as we're waiting for the EPU to fire up that we can hear in the background. I'll let you listen to it. Okay, so as you saw there, I started the clock, I started the EPU. We requested that the air stairs, or the jetway, moves when I'll shut the window. Prior to push. The EPU is available and we're now on APU power. So this is all good. And we'll make sure the doors close up. The ground spoilers are armed, they're off. We'll begin with pushback. But before we push back, we gotta get rid of everything else. So, head on to the external controls. Come to the overhead panel. Disconnect the external power. Pop the generators through running. There we go. External power disconnected. Disconnect the ground power. Disconnect the air conditioning. Ensure the parking brake is on. It is. Disconnect the ground shocks. Now wait for GSX to lock our gear and prepare us for pushback. Please observe the fact that the wheels are spinning the wrong way. Never mind. So as the aircraft's pushing back, we'll start our engines. I'll turn my mic off for this. I'll get you a view on the outside for the second start, but for the first time we'll listen for the engine start on the inside. Okay, so hopefully we all enjoyed that that start with the engines. The sound pack and the vibrations transmitted from the aircraft are second to none. You know, it's one of the reasons I love this FSLabs A320, and I think it's worth everybody's every penny. Okay, so now as we're sat on the ground now, we'll do flight control checks. So full left, you can see that the ailerons come up on the wing. Full up, and we'll notice the elevator also rises. Full right. Come on, there we go. Notice again, the ailerons change, and we have full down, left, right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral, flaps set to green, gear lever down, 3 green lights. So with it being wet, something we have to take into consideration. We'll notice now the generators have also been switched over to the APU. Come on, we'll lose the APU bleed. So we'll begin taxiing out, but as it's wet, but the water's not collecting on the windshield. We'll keep the wipers off until departure. We'll check the windows really quickly. Notice we got that little red tab. Look on the other side. We also have that little red tab, and the doors are closed. Hi. The nose lights is on taxi, and we'll move. We'll also put on RA. So instead of taking a left and then right onto the runway, we'll make a right here and onto the runway. But because of the layout here at Tormso, we're going to be entering via Delta, and we'll be backtracking for runway 19. Check, clear on the arrival, and I did check, we are clear on the departure. And we'll do the forced takeoff checklist. Ecam ammo, no blue. Takeoff config normal. Departure briefing complete. Cabin crew advised. Cabin crew, seats for landing. Still getting to know this plane. This is one of the reasons I love flying into northern Norway, is because of the landscape. To show why these lights are floating, but never mind. So, with the runway being wet, and especially with it being rather short, we know our departure procedure, but our runway actions are also going to be known. So we'll be doing what's called a maximum performance takeoff, where we'll take off without the packs, no D-rate, but straight to Toga, and we'll be using all the power that the engines can give us to get into the air. As we near the bottom end of the runway here, turn the packs off. Now, by law, you shouldn't really take off or land on the threshold of a runway. It's sort of deemed unsuitable, an unsuitable surface. So we'll use this as like a line-up area, and then we'll use what we can. I look at the waypoints have sorted themselves out. Fantastic. So we'll stop rolling there. Okay. TKS RA, and we're good to go. Stick to the floor. Stabilized. Toga. Airspeed's alive. 60 knots. Cross checks. It's rather sharp on them. 100 knots. Power set. V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. Continuing that climb, we'll bring the auto thrust back to level climb. Throttle climb, blue, green, blue. And we'll try and keep it in a straight line. Running into a little turbulence here. Make sure the ices go on. Flaps 1, let's check flaps 1. Takeoff checklist. Climb, NTAs, as required. No issues, factor up. Checklist complete, camera. We'll begin our slow acceleration. See there, we're getting thrust limit penalties due to the engine anti-ice. That's fine. Might as well now something I meant to do before takeoff, so turn off the NTS. Okay, as soon as I put them on, the ring stops. Okay, so we'll turn it on. There's 04. Let's pilot 1 go up. Once pilot 1 is engaged. Now, and hopefully. So I am no longer flying the aircraft, but we're now past the slats traction mark, so the flaps up. Speed check flaps up. We're now accelerating the turn. fast.